YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to Etheria Restart. So, if you guys didn't know, there's a ton of drama going on with the whole Shadow Sania nerf situation, bug fix situation. Was it a bug? Was it a nerf? Where's the compensation? What's going on? I'll explain all that in this video so that way you guys can understand what's going on and you guys can make your own decision on whether you think more compensation is needed, did the devs do the right thing, or what. So to begin with, we'll have to start at the very beginning. And in the closed beta test, we were able to farm all three of the module drops with Shadow Sania. You're able to farm Terramatan, Doki Doki, and Aurora. All the way up until release, you're still able to farm them all with Shadow Sania. So currently, or not currently, but when the game came out, a lot of people were like, okay, I know from the beta DOT teams are insane. I can clear Terramatan with it. I can clear kind of Doki Doki with it, and I can clear Aurora with it. So you can clear 2 out of the 3 bosses very, very well with just simply one team. Not only that, but something not a lot of people mention is you can actually clear a lot of the shell bosses as well. You could clear Nico Nana. You can't clear Sharon, but I believe you can clear Hoyan and Rengatsu. So you can clear a ton of content with Shadow Sania. Now, what the devs decided to do is say, hold on. We're going to, before this game comes out, nerf this whole DOT situation and make it so that way you cannot use this on Aurora. At least this is what they're claiming, right? That's why it's a bug fix. However, once the game released, they had it so that way Aurora was still able to get damaged from DOTs. Let me show you guys an exact picture of what the game looked like before and what it looks like now. So if you go over here, we can see currently these are the 2 ways that it is. Currently on the top, this is the way that the game is doing it now. So Willfield says Aura and her puppets are immune to all control and DOT effects. Previously, it was saying Aurora and her puppets are immune to all control effects except taunts. So you were actually able to affect her with DOT stuff. Because it only says immune to all control effects. However, now it says they're immune to dots. People are mad because they had a perfectly working Shadow Sania team, but it's no longer working because it's now immune to DOTs. Now, the devs are saying that Willfield was always supposed to be immune to DOTs, and it's simply a bug fix. Now, I'm going to show you guys back in the game right here that that is actually true and not true. So if we go ahead and go into Aurora, I'll show you guys exactly what it says in the game. We can go to recent clear right here and click play. And it'll show you guys exactly what's going on in the game right now. I'll pause it so it's not being too... I can't even pause it. Okay, we'll go 1 times speed at least. We can go right here, as you see, immune to all controls and DOTs. Pay attention to the skill name right here, Willfield. So generally, when you have the name of a skill, it's going to be the same among all bosses, right? Willfield should mean you're immune to all control and DOT effects. All right, keep that in mind. Willfield was the bugged skill. They needed to update Willfield to add DOT immunity. If we go over to Terramatan over here and check the skill name for this one, again, you can't pause it. We go to boss mechanics. This is also Willfield, but this one is not immune to DOT. I don't really understand how you can say that it's a bug fix to Willfield if Willfield also doesn't have DOT effects right here. Now, before we get out our pitchforks, I do want to show some more examples of where Willfield is in the game. And if we go over to Shell Drop over here, and we scroll over to Sharon, and we again do the same thing and do a recent clear and press play, we will see Sharon also has Willfield. So we go to boss mechanics, Willfield right here. Sharon is immune to DOT effects and all control effects except for taunt. So I think the confusion and possibly what happened with even the devs themselves is they got confused. They didn't know which Willfield to give Aurora, so they just gave her the usual one. However, most likely the devs wanted to nerf Shadow Sania before release, so they're like, okay, let's go ahead and put Willfield on this boss, not noticing that some Willfields are immune to DOT, and some will fields are not. So the devs could technically say all of these bosses right here with Willfield should all be immune to DOT, and Shadow Sania is now completely worthless. I don't really think that makes sense. They need to change the name of Willfield for bosses that are immune to DOT and are not immune to DOT. Otherwise, we're forever going to be sitting in this little limbo of, is Nico Nana one day going to get quote unquote bug fixed so that way Willfield now is immune to DOTs? So that's the situation with the Aurora and the whole hot fix. I personally am thinking it's fine because Shadow Sania is good at a lot of content still. She's not complete garbage. However, those of you who were planning on farming Aurora and no longer can even farm it because you used all your skill ups, that's messed up. So I do think that they need to give some sort of refresh for the skills on Shadow Sania. Just give you an option for it. Even if they want to bring back the current event that's in this game right here, just go to the event and go to this. Just let us do this for specifically Shadow Sania and the 2 SR units that you use on her team. That's the real problem. If they just give us that, everyone would be satisfied and happy, and nobody would be really mad if they just did that. However, if you guys are going to start nerfing units indirectly and saying they're bug fixes when I clearly showed that there's other exact names with different skill effects. It's just a little bit weird. It's just a little bit weird, in my opinion. So I think that's something that needs to be fixed. So that's basically what's going on with the whole hotfix situation. The main thing that people are mad about is if you built Shadow Sania and you wasted all of these extra perfect lattice right here, now you're going to have to invest in another unit. And if you wanted to farm Aura today with your Shadow Sania team, you can't do that, and that's kind of messed up, really. And like I said, what if I invest into Shadow Sania today to clear, let's say, what's the new shell boss that we're trying to clear right now? What if I invest and we're gonna go clear Sharon? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna build a DOT. Oh, actually, we can't do Sharon, so we'll say to Nico Nana. We're a little bit earlier in the game. We build it for Nico Nana because you guys saw not immune to DOTs. I don't want to build speed. I'm going to build DOT for this. You try it, you got it working, and then the next day the devs are like, oh crap, my bad, that was actually a bug. So all of those lattice that you just invested into your units to clear this boss, yeah, they're all worthless now. Good luck finding a new team, even though you have no more lattice. Maybe in a couple weeks you'll be able to clear it now. Sorry. So that's where the real problem is. I think the whole fixing the boss is fine. It's just they got to compensate better. They give us 3 more free unit refreshes, and then I'll think it's fine. But yeah, they also need to change those names. You can't use Willfield on a bunch of bosses and have them have completely different texts, because then at any point in time they can just say, oh yeah, bug fix, Nico Nana is now immune to DOTs just like Aurora, or God forbid they say Terramatan, because remember, Terramatan also has Willfield. They say Terramatan also no longer is going to be hurt by DOTs. It's just like, okay, well now my Shadow Sania is completely useless. So that's the situation that's going on with the whole DOT Shadow Sania nerf situation. I personally think they just need to give us 3 skill resets to everybody. Just make it easy. Don't need to worry about being like, okay, you have Shadow Sania. That's probably going to be more work. They might not even have a system yet, since this game's still new, to allow you to recall a unit. So just specifically just give it to everyone. Who cares? 3 more resets will make everyone happy. Everyone's mad right now, so just do that. Make everyone happy. It's only like 500 gems at the end of the day, or 700 gems. So it's not even like a lot of currency that they're going to be giving out. So I think that's what they need to do. And the big thing for me is they need to change that name. Please change that name. I don't feel comfortable building Shadow Sania anymore now that they're making this precedent of Willfield will be changed at our discretion with no heads up and no what's it called? No refunds on skills. So that's pretty much all I've got for you guys today. We'll go ahead and go over something a little bit better. Oh, actually, for those of you who watched the whole entire video, please make sure you guys collect your dice. It ends in 9 hours. If you miss out on your dice event, you're going to miss out on some free stuff. I wished for the golden shine right here. I think everyone should wish for this. It gives you, I believe, 12 flat plus 2 extra per dragon stone that you have. So, for example, if you have 7, you're getting 12. If you've got 8 stones, you're going to get like 14. I believe that's how it was. I could be off on the math a little bit. But yep, anyways, the video's getting too long. Thanks for you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.